ground. Opportunity now for Davies. Davies gets the hand pass. Daniels from 40 metres. Jason Daniels kicks for goal. It looks all right. It's a goal to St Kilda.
Dwyer has to stand and wait. Craven sneaks away for the Saints. Gets a left foot kick down towards the half-forward line. Rice. The handball is good. Dwyer got a player going past him. Morris. Good-looking kick in towards full forward, and it bounces through. So the Saints hit back half. Spalding in the air, but straight to Craven. Over the head of Dwyer. He's surrounded, Nick, and he's ridden into the ground by Campbell. Here's a chance for Daniels from 30 metres out, going for his second, and he's popped it through. Going straight down the middle, a lovely kick. At the back, Frank Coghlan. Has a bit of space from the 50-metre line. Set sail for goal and puts another one through for the Saints.
The quick kick towards centre-half forward. It's broken down. Muller, composed. Drop punt kick back towards centre-half forward. Goes 50 metres. Now St Kilda a chance. Tap over the top by Taylor. Finds McAdam. McAdam in towards full forward. No mark taken. Wilson back there. He's going to be tackled. Gives it to McAdam, and McAdam pops it through for a magnificent goal to the Saints.
But Daniels has been busy. Gives it across to Rice. Dean Rice from 65 metres. It's a long kick in towards full forward. Lovett tried to tap it defensively over the line. That's socket off the ground for a goal. Oh, they can do no wrong, and Wilson gets some revenge against his old team, and he loves it. Dwyer in front, farming it down. Dyson tried to get through. Muller spoons it out. Harvey on the flank, comes inside to Coghlan, on to Dwyer. The Saints are away. Mickey Dwyer through the middle. Goes up towards the half-forward line. Antrobus chanced his arm and got a favourable bounce, then got pinged. Rice gives it away. Davies, was it, who shoots for goal? Looks like another one.
Week against Geelong before finally going down. But they included two South Australians, Kitchke and Antrobus, in their lineup. And I'll just get rid of the fly right now for the game today at the MCG. And St Kilda, for the first half, looked as good as they've ever looked in a game of football. They kicked 15 goals, 6 to half-time, to lead by 32 points over Melbourne, 9 goals, 10. The Saints were looking really great. Well, we're picking up the replay with 10 minutes of play remaining in the third quarter, and by this stage, the Saints lead by 27 points. Commentators at the MCG, Sandy Roberts, Ian Robertson and Don Scott.
One particular gentleman's going to be very hoarse at the end of the day. From the throw-in. Eishold couldn't take it. Rice spoons forward for Newport. He does well. Gives it away to Danny Frawley. He may get caught. Just gets the handball away in time to Coghlan, who bounces his way across the centre. Then kicks St Kilda again long, inside 50. Bryce from behind affects the spoil. It came down to Stretch, onto White. Wide towards the centre wing area and over the line for another throw-in. In front of Phoebe and Robert Harvey.
White's got great composure. He always seems to get his kick or his handball despite the opposition bearing down. He always lets it go just at the critical moment and always gets it away well.
Frank Coghlan, 14 kicks and 7 hand passes for St Kilda. An excellent player. He's got another possession here. Can't break through. Cuthbertson has the football for the Demons. A quick kick across his left shoulder. It's on centre wing. Rice chips in. Can he gather it? No, Dwyer gets the hand pass. It's a sneaky one, but it's a beauty. Finds Harding. Harding's deliberate kick up towards full forward. No mark taken. The race is on now. Clark and Antrobus. Oh, Clark held, must take the free kick. And the Demon fans are ecstatic with that umpiring decision. They've been just slightly annoyed over the previous 5 or 6. Stretch. Kick towards centre wing. Dyson up over the top. It's a free kick down the field. He took the mark anyway. Hand passes away to Phoebe. Phoebe's kick towards centre-half forward. 1-on-1. Good punch away by Kitchke. Coming onto it was Harding, but a flip on by Beveridge was good football. Steins shares it with Spalding. Spalding's kick on the run, and it just floats away with the breeze out of bounds on the full free kick for St Kilda.
Should have dragged that back into the centre. He could have hooked that back into the centre. He went for the goals and it drifted across the goal face. But he could have done and made a better effort and dragged it back into the centre on that occasion, Earl Spalding.
St Kilda still leads by 27 points. Frawley, but straight to Steins. Big Jim. Target is Bennett. He's in the pack, but muscled out of it. At the back is Nathan Burke. Clears for the Saints. Back towards the centre. Dyson. They all lost sight of it then. Could have been in the sun. Who's going to be first to recover? Davies loses out to Phoebe. Stephen Phoebe now from the middle. Pumps Melbourne deep into attack. And a good mark over the top. Is that Cuthbertson?
It is Cuthbertson playing in the forward pocket. He had the sit. He's only a small fellow in comparison to Frawley and Bennett. Those two were battling in front. He had the sit, came over the back. Good high mark. Cuthbertson played very well in an end-of-season game against the West Coast Eagles last year in America.
Well, he's 21 years old today. Let's see if he can cap it off with a goal. I think he's just snuck it home. He has. A much-needed goal for Melbourne. Cuthbertson kicks his first. Melbourne moved to 13-15. St Kilda are 18-6.
Well, both these scores have come in this the third quarter. Cuthbertson, as I mentioned, playing in that forward pocket, started either half-back or on the wing earlier in the game. He was hampered by injury earlier in the season. Would have made his debut a little earlier in the night games, but just couldn't quite get there. But now he's got his act together, and let's hope, because they think he's got a great future at Melbourne.
Melbourne have kicked 4 goals, 6 in this third quarter to just bridge the gap ever so slightly. A real crunch of players not far from the centre bounce, and the umpire calls for it to bounce once again. Ruckman taking position. Now St Kilda get clear through Rice. Kick up towards centre half forward. It's marked by White. White's left foot kick wide towards the wing. And Daniels fighting hard. He's 1 against 2, but he wins out. Kicks it into the forward line. The mark is taken by Lowe, who's had a quiet day by his standards. That's his third mark. He's kicked 1 goal, but this is very much testing material for Stuart Lowe from 50 metres in front of the new Southern Stand under construction. Lovely long drop punt kick. Gets the distance. It's right on the goal line. Opportunity for Wilson. Kicks across his body and misses to the right.
That was a poor effort by Stretch on that occasion. He could have got a fist to that ball and put it over, because Wilson could have kicked, you know, a goal.
And if he'd have kicked it, I'm sure he would have let us know.
He's having an enjoyable day, Willow. That's the main thing. The Saints through Daniels. In towards Antrobus, who's in front of the pack and then got the ride. Rice gets cloned, throws it out to Coghlan and is picked up.
Melbourne are now getting numbers in that back line around the ball.
Back towards centre wing. Pekin, a good diving mark.
Top effort by Tim Pekin.
Plays straight on to Robert Harvey. Has a bounce, then centres. He's looking for Mick Dwyer with the hand pass. Made Dwyer do a little bit of extra work, but still gets a kick from 60 metres. Oh, it's a fair kick too, but it's off target. One behind. (18-8) plays 13-15. Sean White to Stephen Stretch. And Stretch can bounce his way almost down to centre wing. Floats it up towards the half-forward line. Good mark. Good mark by Cuthbertson again. It's a second fine grab. Centres it in towards half-forward. Spalding lost sight of it for the moment. Newport across to Pekin. Now Craven. The Saints out of trouble again. Danny Craven has a couple of bounces, then drifts it towards Antrobus. A little too far for that player. Melbourne Maggie back with Sean White, taking it from Yates. Wide to the wing, and another good grab by Pekin.
Took a similar mark to that last week.
Plays straight on with the handball. St Kilda have got the runners going down the ground. This is Craven. Shepherding sees him clear. He's almost inside 50. He is now. He chips in towards goal. This is going to be very close. Wilson's at the back. And Brian Wilson is shooting for his 5th goal. Five metres out, and he is wrapped. So the Saints steady and answer the challenge. They move to 19 goals, 8. Melbourne are 13-15.
Well, both sides letting their respective opponents run free. The holes are starting to appear. The ball seesawing. There's really not much pressure being applied. And there's got to be a degree of concentration by both sides. St Kilda still hold the lead. quite a sizable lead, but Melbourne have really got to tighten up, as has St Kilda, because the game is still at a crucial stage.
205th game for Brian Wilson, and he's now kicked 236 goals. The ball at centre-half forward, but coming out is Sean White. Hand pass to Campbell. Campbell's kick finds Viney. Viney's kick into the forward line is a little bit ordinary. May break down. No, Spalding fighting hard. Good tackle by Burke. Ball runs free out towards the 50-metre line. Beveridge, sweeping hand pass. Dyson, can he kick his first goal in league football? He makes no mistake. It's straight through the centre. Left in this third quarter. O'Dwyer gets the tap out, goes towards centre-half forward. Flipped on again by Steins. Chipping in is Craven, and he does it nicely, Danny Craven. A high kick out wide. Mark is taken by Daniels. He plays on quickly. Eishold a little late on the scene. Daniels' kick is a shocker.
And Danny Craven down behind play, and he's about the 60-metre mark on Melbourne's back line, and he doesn't look to be too good. He tried to get to his feet. You see him there writhing in agony. I don't know what's wrong with him. Let's hope he's all right.
He's winded. Let's hope it's only that situation. The kick towards half forward. Good mark taken by Yates. He's got good hands, Graham Yates. Left foot kick to full forward is quick. One-on-one back there. And the free kick for holding against Danny Frawley will go to Bennett.
Well, Bennett was using his body. And Frawley trying to get in that front position, just couldn't get around the bigger fellow, and I suppose frustration to a degree. And there he is, Craven. He does not look too good at all. Let's hope the little fellow's all right.
Bennett, from only 25 metres out directly in front, makes no mistake, and he gets his 5th goal.
He's now being carried off the ground, Danny Craven, as Bennett goes back nonchalantly to the goal square after kicking his 5th. He was more of a key. Let's hope it's not broken ribs or something along that line, the little fellow. 10 kicks, 3 handballs.
They're now down to 18 men.
And we've got a fit Darren Davies coming on.
So only 17 points the margin now. Melbourne closing the gap. Centre bounce once again. Won by O'Dwyer. Viney almost trips over his own man on that occasion. Hardy gets the handball away to Harvey. Daniels, a chip to half forward. Mick Dwyer is there. Oh, Harvey's running straight through the 50-metre line. Steadies and shoots in towards goal, and there's the quick reply. Robert Harvey kicks his first, and the Saints hit back. 20 goals, 8 to 15-15.
23-point the margin again. And Harvey, who had a really good game the first game of the season, picked up nearly 30-odd possessions, or just over 30-odd possessions. Couldn't put it together last week, and he had a rather quiet day today. And there we see on screen Danny Craven still buckled over, so let's hope the little fellows we mentioned before is all right.
23 points favouring St Kilda. O'Dwyer got a hand to it from the middle. Can they win it away from the centre? Stretch was off, but there was a free kick for some holding on, apparently, illegally, going the way of Phoebe. That's a shocking kick. Goes straight to Muller. Gives it away to Rice, who gets claimed. And well claimed, too, by Glenn Lovett. Beveridge under pressure, but tackled high, and he'll take the free kick.
Well, it was good play by Beveridge, wasn't it? He's starting to come into his own now. He's got to lift his game because the #1 rover, Greg Healy's off the ground.
Kicks it in towards Bennett territory. Pekin gets a hurried boot out of defence. Taken by O'Dwyer, but it's going to come back.
Down to Daniels.
Against Yates, he held Daniels just as O'Dwyer swept onto that ball.
Daniels is at half-back. He'll kick from the 50-metre line in Melbourne's scoring area.
He's been a little quiet, Daniels. He really blitzed them in the first half, kicked 3 goals.
At 22 possessions. But I think one of the things that lets Jason Daniels down is his disposal. This kick is not too bad. 45 metres out towards centre wing. Gathered there by Davies. And he brushes Dyson aside and kicks St Kilda up towards their 50-metre line. What can happen here now? The luck of the draw. Eishold overruns it. Now St Kilda a chance through Harvey, gets around, snapshot for goal is okay. St Kilda get another one.
A high-scoring game at the MCG with 37 goals between them, but a 23-point lead to the Saints at the last change. Well, it was going to go right to the wire. We pick it up at the opening bounce of the last quarter.
Kilda leads by 23 points. Make or break time now for Melbourne. They want a couple of quick goals, and they are right back in this game. Kitchke's got to stand his ground. Peakin's kick is partly smothered. Eichhold working hard at the bottom of the pack, but it's Rice who gets the handball away to Daniels. Out in front of Gilbert McAdam. He doesn't get a good bounce. Campbell has him, though, and he's peaked.
Actually, Campbell's hand was up around McAdam's neck. It should have been around the neck.
Oh, that's a questionable one.
Campbell moves it on quickly, putting Melbourne inside 50. Spalding the flyer from the side, couldn't take it. A chance here for Yates, if he can control the football. He can, he's away. Onto the left foot he goes, and what a snap for goal! That's a goal! Great start by the Demons.
And Graham Yates has got what Melbourne wanted, a goal to start this the final quarter. Now, whether Melbourne can go on or whether St Kilda will reply remains to be seen. St Kilda have answered each challenge mounted by Melbourne.
"17 points is the margin. Kitchke wins it, but who can take it out of the centre? McGuire working hard, but he couldn't take it. He's got support, however, through Davies, down towards the forward line. Fisted defensively towards the line, away from Wilson. Bryce tries to thread his way through, but his hand pass is well smothered and goes over the line in St Kilda's left forward pocket.
And smothered by Wilson there, too.
Who appeared to be giving the bulk of the three-quarter time address to the St Kilda
By
players.
word, he was fired up, Ryan Wilson, wasn't he? He's kicked, 5 goals in that scoreline of St Kilda's.
Had a very good day. Glenn Lovett has been a real try for Melbourne all day. The angry ant snaps for goal. And St Kilda answer every challenge that Melbourne throw at them. Antipas kicks his third. 22-8 to 17-15.
Well, they're doing well, aren't they, St Kilda? As Sandy just mentioned, they answer every challenge mounted by Melbourne, and it was a great goal by Yates earlier for his first, and as soon as it goes down there, Antipas or St Kilda answer. And Antipas has played in the forward pocket all day on his former teammate Stephen Clark.
Well, Melbourne have got some problems. Even though they've kicked 17 goals, they haven't been able to stop the Saints from scoring at the other end. It's at half forward for Melbourne. And getting clear is Newport. Hand passes wide. Out there is Daniels. He's fighting hard. Gathers the ball. He's well tackled. The ball now runs free. Beveridge. Hand pass to Viney. Viney in the forward pocket. Goes for goal. He kicks across the face. And the ball bounces end on end over for a throw-in in that left forward pocket. St Kilda have kicked 6 goals in the first term, 9 in the second term, and 6 in the third term. So for Melbourne to win, they certainly need to restrict St Kilda's scoring chances. Here's Coughlin, who's played a wonderful game for St Kilda. Hand pass over the top. Harvey, he's well caught by Glenn Lovett. He gets the hand pass away. Coughlin, who's run up the ground. Kitchke gets it forward, but not before it's gone over the boundary. So we'll have a throw-in on centre wing in front of the members' stand, where I don't think the Melbourne members have been very happy with some of the umpiring decisions. But I don't think they can blame that. St Kilda have been far superior in the 3 quarters and 5 minutes so far. Yates breaks clear. One bounce. Approaching centre-half forward. Kicks it into that position. No mark, but it's punched away and it'll come back to Yates. Oh, he leaves it behind. Eichhold. Deft play by Yates, but the kick is marked in the goal square by the ex-Melbourne player, Stephen Newport. He plays on quickly, kicks it wide to half-back. A beautiful punch there by Harvey. It goes to the back. Opportunity now by Cuthbertson, and the ball just bounces inside the field of play. So we'll have a throw-in on the 50-metre line for Melbourne. Demons striving desperately to bridge the gap.
The gap, which at the moment is 23 points. Spalding trying to flick it over the back. Eichhold on to Glenn Lovett. Slews off the side of the boot. A high ball at half forward. May get another chance. Snaps in towards full forward, but Nathan Burke there on the last line of defence. He's worked hard. Harding's kick up towards the half-back flank. Harvey to Daniels. Davies. Now Stretch. His kick is short and put his teammate Beveridge under tremendous pressure. Dyson at the bottom and may just about be pinged.
Yes, he is, Sandy.
Beacon on to Burke. Now Robert Harvey. Not a good kick.
Oh, that's careless. For an AFL footballer of his stature, very sloppy.
White. Over centre wing. Beacon. That was a clever kick. That was a clever kick to Harvey, and that's better. Centering this ball, White up a little too early. Davies caught, eventually gets it away, pushed towards the boundary line by Clark, and over for another throw-in. Well, they were able to cut the margin to 17 points, Melbourne. But St Kilda rallied, and at the moment of holding them, Harvey to ground, ridden into the ground by Yates. Sean White, a short kick up towards centre wing. Harding almost catches Pekin unawares, gets a handball out in front of him to keep the ball in play for the moment anyway. Yates almost lost his head.
Too high. He's lifted his game in the last quarter, early part of this last quarter, Graham Yates.
He's had 4 kicks and 1 hand pass, and he's kicked a goal, more importantly. But the Demons need a succession of goals if they're to have any chance. Burke is well caught by Beveridge. Collecting the football, Cuthbertson goes up towards half forward. The sun may be in the player's eyes, but Eisholt gets it, kicks it towards a 10-metre square, holding with Frawley and Bennett, and the umpire allows play to go on. Frawley gets back quickly, kicks it wide where Daniels is marked at half-back for St Kilda. We've got an exciting finish on our hands here with 18, nearly 19 minutes left. Oh, a big crunch of players back there. Sean White gets back, but Stretch is there to give him a hand. Both those players who went for the football are lying behind play and about to be attended by trainers.
Is not too good. That Stretch had been called for.
Melbourne go into attack. Dyson deep in the pocket. Now he's going to be asked to play on. Dyson goes for goal and kicks it out of bounds on the full. So a free kick to be taken.
Now this is going to be interesting, Ian, because they've only got 17 players. If Davies is
Craven will come on.
Well, he wasn't too flash early.
I thought at 3/4 time he was okay, but gee, Davies is in trouble.
Well, they're calling for the stretcher.
And they're asking the umpires to stop the play, which they've quickly taken notice. So we'll have a hold in proceedings here at the 18-minute mark.
And Sean White's not too good either. It all happened when Sean White went after that ball, tried to kick the ball off the ground, a la soccer style. You can see him bent over. And I wouldn't mind betting that Davies has broken his leg. Here he is going on to the stretcher. Danny Craven on the boundary line. And he didn't look too good when he came off too, Craven. That's bad luck for Darren Davies. And there's Sean White limping back.
Those indiscriminate kicks, Don, how do you feel about them?
Well, there was really no alternative at that stage because the ball was there and White was doing, you know, the thing, kicking the ball off the ground. And I suppose he could have gone down after the ball, but the umpire didn't see anything untoward. Otherwise, he would have penalised.
No, I'm not saying that the umpire should see something that should be free kicked, but surely that there should be something brought into the game where we can eliminate that sort of thing, because there are too many chances of too many severe injuries, I feel.
Well, it's a crisis game, football. There is always that chance that something like this might happen, and it's unfortunate. Really bad luck.
I think you've picked it in one, looking at the way they're trying to protect that leg.
That's a tragedy for Darren Davies.
And back there in the back pocket, a St Kilda player, is he having a rest or is he just trying to make sure that he doesn't pull a hamstring when he kicks this ball in? Tim Pekin.
So, with that hold-up, no addition to the score. St Kilda at the moment lead by 23 points.
Is that the bend in that from the knee down to the ankle?
It looks like it, doesn't it?
Oh, shocking.
So play about to resume with Davies going down for immediate medical treatment. Pekin has completed his stretching program and kicks the ball back into play. Out the back it goes. Daniels is there. Goes in for a second bite at the cherry, then gets it away beautifully to Coghlan. Coughlin's kick, putting the Saints inside 50. Antrobus couldn't take the mark. Needs help. White recovers. He appears to be okay, Sean White. Does well as he gets it off to Campbell. Campbell floating it up towards the half-forward line. Eichhold couldn't take it on the half volley, but he follows it down. Melbourne want the next goal, and they want it smartly. Dyson, poor hand pass to Spalding, put him under great pressure, and Burke was able to come through. Dwyer gives it away to Newport. Newport to McAdam, and the Saints are out of trouble.
And McAdam spots a player further afield. It's Coghlan. At centre-half forward, Frankie Coghlan, short pass. Saints have got loose players. Melbourne's discipline running a little ragged.
Well, Dyson really should have kicked the ball. Eichhold came out, attacked it well, got it across to Dyson. And Dyson handballed in front. Should have gone long with the handball, with the kick.
Maybe inexperience showing there with Kevin Dyson. But the ball finishing now with Dean Rice. 16 possessions so far. He's already kicked 1 goal from 40 metres. Lovely kick. Rice goals for the Saints.
An incident-packed game. Eichhold trying to storm his way through. Ball comes back to the centre. Eventually out to Steins. Can't get an effective kick away. St Kilda through McAdam. Surge it down towards half-forward. Low under pressure. McAdam could have been held. It's pushed towards the line. Yates bundled out of it. Kitchke and Lowe both in there for the Saints. Viney over the line, and we'll see another throw-in.
Actually, this is a good last quarter because Melbourne still, you know, they're just not giving up. They're clawing away at that lead, and St Kilda are answering each challenge.
Harding trying to get it down to Coghlan, taken by Steins. Gains 30 metres. Crowd of 27,266 here to witness this Sunday game at the MCG. O'Dwyer.
Oh, come on. Both players
Yes,
having a real struggle. That's ridiculous for a kick.
O'Dwyer's kick towards the 50-metre line. Eichhold at the back, so too is Newport against his old team. Eichhold gets it out beautifully. Here's a chance for Beveridge as he sets sail for goal and puts through a goal for the Demons. That's his second, and Melbourne stay in touch, 18-15 to 23-8.
Good play by Eichhold. He got one out earlier, tacked the ball on the edge of the square. Got it across to Dyson, who tried a long hand pass and was brought undone and finished up with Rice kicking the goal. On that occasion, Eichhold underneath the pack once again. And Beveridge getting the ball. It was a good kick for goal and good hand pass.
So we're halfway through this last quarter. Melbourne have kicked 2 goals. St Kilda have kicked 2. Dwyer gets the ball out of the centre, but it breaks down. Stretch takes the mark at half-back for Melbourne. He plays on fairly quickly, kicks it high towards half-forward, marking contest. Oh, where all good Rovers should be. Luke Beveridge at the front of the pack. Lovely little kick finds Dyson just inside 50. And Melbourne, this may be just the tonic they need. Dyson, strongly built, long kick to the goal front. Punched away. Getting back there, Frawley. Pekin under pressure, gives the hand pass away to Craven. Craven's little kick gathers about 25 or 30 metres for his side. We'll have a boundary throw in about 40 metres from the Melbourne goal. Precious seconds ticking away. Now we're nearly into the 14-minute margin before the end of the game. Boundary throw in. Craven recovered nicely. A heavy blow. Kick in towards the centre and a good strong mark on the chest taken by Campbell. He plays on quickly. Kicks it high, back towards centre-half forward. Marking contest. Melbourne mark. Is it Cuthbertson? It's Todd Viney in front of Newport. He's got some very good upper body strength, Todd Viney. Very hard to get out of position once he's in front. And excellent stats for the Melbourne ruck rover half forward. And this is a very important kick. Well, I think he's missed.
Gone to the right.
And Don, when you weigh up the end result, that could be a bad miss.
Well, 34 effective scoring shots to 31, and they trail. O'Dwyer up a little early. Dyson at the back. It's a hurried kick. Nathan Burke, an effective spoiler, pushing it back towards McAdam on the wing. Can't control it. Dyson almost threaded his way through the pack. Yates out in front of Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson centres it. A high kick in towards half forward. Who's waiting at the back? O'Dwyer gets it out. Here's a chance for Bennett. Now this may set sail the Demons coming home. (19-16, 130). St Kilda are 23-8, 146. The margin 16 points.
Well, his sixth goal, Darren Bennett, but down on that half-forward flank. There was some good shepherding by Dyson. Over to Cuthbertson. There was really no Melbourne little blokes underneath the pack. And again, it was the big fellow, Bennett, who went onto it.
Back in the centre. The crowd has come to life. We're halfway through the last quarter. Muller kicks the Saints back towards half forward, but a good mark taken by Bryce. Now Melbourne moving the ball forward. Here's the player who's really set them alight, Graham Yates. Left foot kick into the pocket. Oh, just a little too high back there for Viney. Striving desperately back there. Pekin gets the hand pass away. Newport shares it with Burke. And Burke clears, but not too far. Yates is there. He's bundled over. 4-2. Dwyer looking a little tired. Yates is in trouble. Steins kicks Melbourne in towards centre half forward. What a great mark taken back there for St Kilda by Harding. Now the Saints. Can they compose themselves? This is a very desperate go now. Harding in short, finds Harvey. Harvey's able to run on. He gets past Cuthbertson, kicks it wide. Half forward, Lowe marks. Player running forward for him was Taylor, but Lowe will steady the Saints and kick from outside 50. Drop punt kick, up to the goal front. Marking contest, getting back and taking a spectacular mark over the top of the pack was Sean White for Melbourne.
Lived dangerously on that occasion, Sean White. Backed himself in as a 50-metre penalty. Maybe as a backman in a critical situation like this, he should have gone safety first. The punch sent the ball over the boundary line, but he backed himself, as I said earlier, and he's got the 50-metre penalty.
This against Tony Antrobus. So Melbourne again into attack. No one waiting at the back, however. Newport is there, but he overruns the football. The Packers quick to pounce upon it. Out it comes the back door towards Dyson. Tries to tap it on, then control it himself. He's still going. Spoons it forward. They've got Yates out wide. He's on the 50-metre line. He'll go short. Glenn Lovett tucked in the pocket. Goes over the top to O'Dwyer. He can't get boot to ball.
What a great scramble by four players fairly in the goal square.
Desperation plus.
It was good play there by Lovett also to get it across. Dyson a little apprehensive in going for that ball. Should have maybe gone with two hands.
So right in the square, and Frawley comes over and concedes a behind.
And Yates is all right. He got a knock earlier. Melbourne really haven't got anyone to replace him. Owen went off with that bruised thigh, and Healy went off with obviously a knee injury. So they've got a depleted bench, Melbourne.
2.5 kicks in it.
They've got to outscore by 3 goals now, Sandy, in the last 10.5 minutes.
Well, they're capable of doing it. Frawley, not sure where to go, eventually decides to head straight down the middle. Steins is setting himself. Can't take the mark. Mick Dwyer off the pack. The Saints are away. Frankie Coghlan, his hand pass drops a little short, but he butters up again. Played by Coghlan, off to Harvey from 48 metres. Shoots in towards goal, and is just off target.
There's some good play there by also Craven and Harvey. Harvey got the handball, but Craven was also running in front to assist Coghlan.
Still, the Demons have to outscore by 3 goals. Seconds ticking away. Saints a chance. Come towards half forward. Craven underneath it. Moves it on, which is good. Stretch. In his endeavours is all right. Bryce. Sweeping hand pass Dyson. Handball over the top to Viney. Viney streaming through the centre. Goes long and direct with the drop punt. Up to the front of the square, and O'Dwyer takes the mark. Big, tall, and strong Steve O'Dwyer.
He has got a big leap, O'Dwyer. Went in front and has got a run at the ball as he did on that occasion. Very, very hard to mark over.
He's kicked 2. Can he kick a badly needed 3rd? He does. O'Dwyer's 3rd goal pulls Melbourne to within 10 points. We've got 9.5 minutes left. Lovely bounce back in the centre. Favours Stones. Eichel. Can he break clear? No, unselfishly. Shares it with Viney. Viney goes for goal and misses to the left. Well, maybe that squares up for Robert Harvey's miss just a little earlier in this last term.
Little sloppy that time, Ian. I thought Viney could have just steadied just for that fraction. They got it out of the centre very easily, Melbourne.
9 points the margin, just on 9 minutes remaining. Viney may have another crack. No, Airlex to go wider. The set shot. The stab in towards goal. Hits the post. So...
Well, he gave himself every chance, Phoebe. He steadied and really set himself.
8 points. 8 3/4 minutes. Again, Frawley. Muller under pressure from Stynes. Hammered clear. Back to Yates at the back of the pack. He pumps Melbourne inside 50 once more. Difficult one to mark. It is a mark, though, and it's a mark to Bennett in front of Frawley. No, it's not Bennett, it's Spalding. So Earl Spalding has the chance to bring Melbourne to within just 2 points of St Kilda.
Well, he's not the most accurate kick for goal, Earl. He really had trouble last year converting. He kicked a lot of points, not too many big ones. So the Melbourne team and supporters will have their heart in their mouths as he lines up.
A kiss of death by Don Scott.
Down to the full.
Unbelievable.
Missed the whole lot.
That was a shocker.
After such a fine mark, too.
He's got a front of about 21 metres across there, and he's missed the lot from only 35 out.
Kitchke to bring it back into play. Can the Saints steady? It's a good, long, defensive kick by Kitchke, but it is straight to Stephen Phoebe. Melbourne have done all the attacking in the last 5 minutes. Phoebe, the centering kick. No one waiting down in front. Newport gives it away to Pekin. And the Saints out of trouble. Tim Pekin's kick going over the centre towards Lowe. Well-fisted clear, but waiting down is Campbell. He couldn't control it. Pekin's followed it down. Gets clear with the hand pass away. Daniels trying to thread the handball through to Coughlin. Leaves it. Taylor under pressure. He gets claimed, but he does eventually get it away. Back to Daniels again. What a tackle on Daniels. Flick wide towards Harvey. He can't take it. Tremendous desperation. Antrobus over the ball now. On all fours. The Melbourne defence working very hard. No one at home, and Stuart Lowe takes it on the chest. St Kilda in towards the 50-metre line once again. Line's perhaps a little late, but Gilbert McAdam is quite happy that he has the football.
Lucky not to be paid a 50-metre penalty on that occasion, Stynes.
McAdam. Centering kick in towards full forward. And a good mark taken by Bryce. Now, where are the runners? Phoebe. Going with him is Viney. Phoebe kicks up towards Eichel. And that's a good mark.
Strong mark.
Simon Eichel, forward of centre wing, to put Melbourne inside 50. Another good kick in towards the pocket. They all come over the top. Spalding goes in head first, and the umpire comes in very quickly to take control.
Good effort by Eichel to get in front of Pekin there. He really put the hammer down just to edge it. Pekin out.
Well, what a great finish we've got on our hands. It's been an entertaining game all day long here at the MCG, and with 6 minutes left, there's only 2 kicks the difference. St Kilda get it back out, but Viney's there. He played a tremendous game, Todd Viney. Short kick, loose player. Up there is Cuthbertson. And he's a strong kicker of the football, this young man. He's kicked 1 goal. 5.5 minutes left. Pretty good stats too, 17 kicks and 1 hand pass. But more importantly, this shot for goal is a vital one. Kick is long it. It's there.
It's a big kick.
Melbourne within one kick now, and they've trailed nearly all day.
2 points the margin. The Melbourne chant goes up at the MCG. Coughlin can't get clear. And there'll be another bounce.
It's an unusual one. Umpires are prepared to let the play go on there. He's held it up for a bounce.
The Demons have stormed back. After at one stage trailing by almost 6 goals. Newport gets a short kick out in front of Craven, who left the ground for some considerable time. He spins out of trouble from 53 metres. Danny Craven's kick up towards the forward line and a mark to Wilson.
Oh, why do you love this?
Brian Wilson against his old team. And Willow has kicked 5.
And he'll go and put the mark on the ground. There's the mark, and that's where he'll kick it from.
Well, he's done a good job, Don, because he's kicked 5-1.
Yeah. And he came off the bench too. He didn't start on the ground. He had a poor game last week.
So we'll watch him if he kicks this. It's the Melbourne fans you can hear. Very deliberate. Wilson shoots. Wilson goals. And here's Rapp. So the steadier for the Saints.
But the game is still far from over. 3.5 minutes are left, and the way Melbourne are playing, they can still win the game.
Well, there's a problem with Melbourne then, because the ball came out of the centre. There were 3 St Kilda fellows by themselves. That's why the ball went down to Wilson. 1 Melbourne. They've got to tighten up and really get in front of their opponents right now.
The margin is again 8 points. A seesawing struggle with just a couple of minutes remaining. Socket off the ground. Melbourne desperately want the next goal if they're to stay in it. The Saints get the next one. They can just about seal it. Campbell and McAdam. Who'll be there first? It's a cool bounce for Campbell. The ball goes over the line. The question is asked off the boot, and it was. And so Glenn Lovett sends Melbourne into attack down towards their 50-metre line. Eishold's there. He too gets a bad bounce. Peek into Nathan Burke. Nathan Burke pulls it round his body and finds McAdam.
Ooh. Good mark by McAdam. He's always going to be under a bit of pressure there from Cuthbertson, but he never took his eye off the football. Now the St Kilda character is being tested by the Demons in their perseverance for the 4 points. Harvey is hurried over the boundary line by Glenn Lovett and will have a boundary throw in. Under 3 minutes left, and Melbourne need 2 goals to snatch this game away from the Saints. It really would be a travesty of justice. St Kilda have led all day. Craven, the ball is pinched by Cuthbertson. Cuthbertson's kicked towards the centre of the ground. Now, which way will it bounce? The ball runs free. It's Phoebe's ball. He's pushed off it by Daniels. Keep chasing Jason Daniels. Phoebe kicks it off the ground. Daniels falls over. It's at half forward. Peakin is tackled. Didn't have the football. And the umpire awards the free kick to the St Kilda player. Peakin with 7 kicks and 19 hand passes. What a game he's played across that half back line for St Kilda. Very experienced campaigner, Tim Peakin. Kicks it high out towards the wing, and a good mark. That's a 50-metre penalty, surely against Bryce, because the mark was a clean one to Stuart Lowe.
Bryce did something like that, if my memory serves me correctly, in the night game earlier in the season. A little undisciplined.
And not a bad 50-metre penalty brings Lowe up to within 50 metres of goal for St Kilda. Gee, they've kicked terrific, haven't they, St Kilda? 24-9 against Melbourne's 21-19.
53 scoring shots to 40.
And there's the familiar scratch in the dust by the St Kilda player shooting for goal. Is that a Peter Hudsonism?
I do not know. I think it may be.
Well, it's working for Brian Wilson. He's kicked 6-1. Let's see if it can work for Stuart Lowe. Drop punt kick. Very close to the line. It's assisted over by the Melbourne tall timber back there for a rush behind us in Kilda. 24-10, plays 21-19.
Time ticking away. Precious seconds for Melbourne. Less than 1.5 minutes remaining. They trail by 9 points. Peakin over the top with an effective spoil. Kane Taylor gets a hurried kick down in towards the pocket for the Saints. Wilson is there, Dwyer is there, both over it. Eishold coming in late, sees the ball over the line. St Kilda will be happy just to bottle it up here and maintain possession. Stuart Lowe hits towards goals with a mighty fist. White on to Lockett. Towards Stretch, the flyer. Waiting down Coghlan on centre wing. Kick partly smothered and again over the line, but we're inside a minute and St Kilda look home. Leading by 9 points. After a desperate fight back by Melbourne, almost paid dividends. Dean Rice flicks it high around his body, up towards half forward. Big pack of players, no one able to take it. Spalding through, gets the ball away. Phoebe running through the middle, Viney trying to do the shepherding work. Phoebe's kick up towards centre half forward, and a good mark coming back. St Kilda defence holding strong, and skipper Danny Frawley has the football. His team's home now. Frawley goes wide to Stuart Lowe. And without Lockett, without Winmar, they have done it. Victory to the Saints. Gamely holding on.
The Saints getting the points by 9 points at the MCG. Brian Wilson, ex-Demon, against his old team, kicked 6 goals. Darren Bennett also kicked 6 in a very high-scoring game.
Demon turned Saint Brian Wilson played a big part in St Kilda's thrilling win against Melbourne at the MCG. In a high-scoring encounter, the Saints managed to hang on to deny the fast-finishing Demons. Wilson booted 6 goals for his 4th club, while Bennett kicked 5 for the losers. Drew Morfitt reports.
The match started at a furious pace and new Demon Rod Owen was first to draw blood against his old side with a great snap. The Demons looked quicker and more cohesive early, former skipper Greg Healy stretching their lead to 19 points halfway through the term. Russell Morris was seeing stars after a seemingly accidental clash with Earl Spalding, and just seconds later it was obvious his stay on the ground would be short-lived. If anything, the incident seemed to spark the Saints, who got to within a point during time on, but a late goal by Darren Bennett, his 3rd, saw Melbourne lead by 10 points at the first break. After the D's lost Healy early in the second term, St Kilda proceeded to run riot. It took only 3 minutes for Daniels to give them the lead when he booted his 3rd, and the onslaught continued. Campbell's big mark was one of few highlights for Melbourne, which took 25 minutes to get its first for the quarter when O'Dwyer showed fine agility for a big man. But when ex-Demon Brian Wilson fed the dangerous McAdam and then got one himself off the ground, the Saints went to half-time 32 points clear. Yet again, the goals flowed freely in the 3rd term, but for the most part, the Saints were able to keep the upper hand and led by 23 points at the last change. In the final term, Davies was stretchered off after a freak clash with White, and the Demons came back hard, reducing the deficit from 29 points to 2 points as they entered time on. But a mark and goal by Wilson, his 6th, sealed the win for the Saints, and it wasn't hard to see who was wearing the biggest grin. Drew Morfitt, 7 Nightly News.
Imagine former Demon Brian Wilson and Steve Newport were the happiest pair at the MCG today, and while Newport was reserved in his celebrations, there was no stopping Willow.
I started off sitting on the bench and the members were pretty vocal, so I decided that if I got on, when I got on and sort of if I could do my business, I was going to make sure that I gave it back to them, but I waited until I'd done enough to justify it.
Goal number 6, the winning goal. You enjoyed that one?
It was very pleasing, very pleasing. I was just concentrating, just telling myself to settle down and make sure I got it home, so it was good. I mean, I really believe that we will go a long way this year.
I can actually remember what happened. I mean, I remember going for the ball and all that and taking the mark when the ball came back, and then the legs went under me. The boys were laughing at me. They reckon it looked a bit funny. So you can understand these prize fighters, you know, when they get cloggered in the head and all of a sudden the legs are the first things that go.
You think you'll be rougher next week?
Well, yeah, I hope so. It was just a precautionary type of thing. The doctors just said, look, because you're out, maybe even for a split second, and the way my legs went, they weren't to let me back on the ground. And sort of normal policy, if you've got concussion, you're not allowed to play, but I don't think I had concussion. I haven't got a headache or anything like that, and I do remember the game, so hopefully it's promising.
Well, I think anybody that come to the football today certainly got their money's worth. You know, they really went at the ball hard today. They got their body on the line and came up with the 4 points. How we go against Collingwood is that it is our home ground, our opening game for the season. But, you know, they are the benchmark. So we'll certainly have to acquit ourselves well. You know, guaranteed, we'll give it an honest go and throw everything at them. As to if Tony plays or not, will depend on his form on the training track this week. But I would think that it would be perhaps a little premature.